Hi, this is Kirk with Forex Strategy Secrets, and so what we're going to be talking about today is dealing with the fear of success. Now, this is really something that people don't even realize that's happening until it happens to them. Maybe a little bit of success is not going to make a difference, but as soon as you start getting something different than the norm, what people recognize you as, then that all of a sudden starts causing issues, and we'll talk about that. The biggest obstacle you face when you achieve success is dealing with the response of others. All of a sudden people view and treat you differently. Your family and friends treat you differently. Your own self-doubt starts to creep in because of the way you're being perceived by others, and your guilt holds you hostage, so you don't want to necessarily achieve any more success. You want to stay right where you're at because it's more comfortable. So first of all, your family and friends. Friends and family members are now intimidated by you, and they feel uncomfortable around you. You're essentially left with two choices. You can go your path without your friends and family, or you can retreat to your former level of success where everyone else but you is happy. Your own self-doubt creeps in. When people start to become successful, many of them feel the seeds of fear and self-doubt creep in. They suddenly think they're not worthy of success. That's when they turn to drugs, drinking, and heavy partying in an attempt to squelch the negative feelings from rising. This, of course, is a path of destruction. Guilt holds you hostage. Once you or an individual attains some level of success, they need to be aware of the guilt demon, which is when they start self-sabotaging their efforts. This kind of behavior is like going to school, doing all your homework and all your projects, but then not showing up for the final exam. You're essentially throwing away all your hard work, everything you've worked for. Okay, I'm going to get into the solution in just a moment. The thing I want to talk about is things that happened to me and an example of someone that shared an example about being successful. I was successful in a business, and I went on an activity with someone who I'd known for years, and he didn't know that I had started a business because he didn't see much of a change, and all of a sudden he found out that I had started a business, and he all of a sudden instantly started to look at me differently because now I was a business owner, and he perceived me differently than he had before, and it just blew me away. I was the same guy, I hadn't changed, but his perception had changed. And then in the beginning, many of my relatives, they thought, oh, he's not going to be successful, and they just ignored me. But when I actually became successful, then they started treating me differently also. So I had to make a decision. Was I going to put myself in subjection to their reaction, or was I going to keep on going? The thing that I did find out was I kept on going, and they eventually adjusted, because now that's who I was for a long period of time, and they just started accepting it. So that's one thing that can help be a solution. Just you have to suffer through it. My first Forex coach, I guess trading coach, he was doing commodities, was Bill Williams, and he said that he put on a trade, and he thought he'd put a sell on, and he put a buy on, and he woke up in the morning and he saw that the market had gone in the buy direction, which that's the trade that he put on, but he was thinking he'd put a sell on, and he thought, oh, I've lost all this money. And he called his broker, and he was yelling at his broker, and the broker said, hold on, you're successful. It went in your direction, what you put on. And he had doubled his account in one overnight. And when he settled down, and he was really amazed at what had happened. But as what he self-sabotaged himself, and it wasn't very long before he had lost all the profit back to where he was before. So he couldn't handle the success that he had achieved, and so he started talking about this as far as sabotaging himself. And you got to get used to having the success and then being able to keep the money. So let's get into the solutions. First of all, you need to make peace with yourself, have something that grounds you, get the right support, get some meaning to your life and to your success. Give some meaning to your life and success. Always have a hobby and go for the gold. First of all, let's talk about make peace with yourself. No matter how others are treating you, you need to remember that you're not responsible for other people's feelings. While you should be sensitive to what people are feeling, ultimately, you need to continue being you and embarking on your chosen path. Stay on course, if that's your dream. Have something that grounds you. Take the steps to reaffirm your talents and ground yourself in the reality of today. Not what happened in the past, not what might be in the future, but what's happening today. For example, you could do some positive affirmations or visualization exercises every day. These positive affirmations are, don't beat up on yourself. Don't call yourself a dummy or you stupid. Just go on and say, okay, I'll learn from that poor decision and move on. And visualize what it's like when you do receive some type of success. I did a lot of this visualization, and that took me through because I could see how I wanted to be in my success. Or you could find other successful people and model them. And that's another thing that I did, is I would start thinking and watching how other people handled themselves and did a lot of the same things. Another option is to watch documentaries of those who have fallen, so you can clearly see what you don't want to end up like. That's people who have maybe become successful and then they destroyed themselves, self-sabotage. You see documentaries about musicians or movie stars. This happens to them sometimes because they're not grounded, and it happens so quickly to them. Get the right support. So join a support group. That would be maybe joining a like our PIP club as a group, and you get support and people that are moving along. Alternatively, you can find a group of people at your same success level and hang out with them. Do that more and more, so that more so than the people that are ahead of you or behind you. Those ahead of you don't need to put as much time and energy because they're already successful. Well, I like to hang out with people that are more successful than I am. Yes, I realize they've already achieved and they're already doing things, but the only problem is when they want to do an activity, they're doing it at a level that maybe your budget can't accommodate. So you have to kind of judge what you're going to do there. But if they're doing something that fits in with your budget and an activity, your level of success, then try and be around them at that time. I have some friends that are way more successful than I am, and there are many activities that I can attend with them, and that's where I learn. I watch their behaviors and how they handle things and how they react to other people around them. While those below you may have a tendency to pull you down to their level, and that's a big problem. They don't understand, and so you start listening to them out of their fears rather than going where you know you have already conquered those fears. Give some meaning to your life. Religious and spiritual beliefs can help give you direction and comfort. Additionally, engage in some activity that forces you to slow down, do some self-reflection, and really think about your life and what you want. This is one thing when I took coaching from Bill Williams. He would say every week, pick a 2-hour period of time, and you go by yourself, and you have a moment of self-reflection, and think about where you've been, where you're going, where you, the obstacles you've overcome, and be by yourself. And in the beginning, that was hard to be by myself. I wanted to be around the action of the market and around others, whether they were negative or positive. But eventually, I got used to being by myself for that moment of reflection, and now that's a part of what I do on a regular basis. I get by myself and think about things. Journaling is a great way to express your feelings sort of in a non-threatening way. That's what Bill Williams suggested. This was kind of interesting. He'd say, write your pages. Every day he wanted you to write for 5 minutes. Just write all your thoughts. It's not really journaling, but it was getting all your thoughts out. And it was interesting over a period of time as to what the things I started writing about, because I didn't want to keep on writing about the same thing all the time. And so that gets your feelings out, and then you can kind of ground yourself. Always have a hobby. As much as you're working and doing something you enjoy, you still need something that takes your mind off your work. trading can become an addiction. And I've talked to other people that say that same thing. They have to do something different. There's a rush that comes from trading, and so you need to have a hobby, something that's totally unrelated to looking at charts on your computer. Probably not even a hobby that's around the computer, because then you're tempted to look at charts also. So you might be a hobby of hiking, painting, reading. Now, don't read trading books or trading articles as your hobby. You can do knitting, sports, weekend travel, basically anything that you enjoy that is not related to work or trading. Take some time for whatever your soul yearns for, as that's the only way you can stay true to yourself. What do you really want to do? Take some time to do that. There's some hobbies that you may have, or some activities that you really would like to do. Go for the goal. The bottom line is that as your success is rising, you need to believe in yourself. If you don't believe in yourself, then at least trust in yourself. Trust that you'll make the right decisions at the right time, and trust that events will work out in your favor. So always give everything you pursue all your effort. This is what can cause problems. You give it a lot of effort, and all of a sudden you get successful, and you start to relax and fall back into your old habits, and you don't give it all the effort, and then you're basically self-sabotaging yourself because you're not doing those same things that you did to get successful. Don't quit when you finally get your chance, and don't let guilt derail your efforts. You deserve success, so go for it and enjoy every moment of your journey. Now we're going to look at some charts, and we're going to pick out some good trade setups, and I'll tell you why I'm getting into this based on your overcoming and becoming successful, and show what it looks like to have steady, consistent growth in your trading. It'll also instruct you to a trading tool that will help you with your steady, consistent growth. And the trading tool is the Norwood Strategy Scanner. But watch how this can help you in your road to success. So now we'll go to the charts. Okay, here's a typical chart. This is our nth degree trading system. These are all the indicators that we use. What would I be sharing with you here that can help you overcome the fear of success? It's consistency. Find some strategies, some setups that you like to use that will help you make the decisions the same way every time. Here's another thing. You need to achieve success steadily, and not to think you need to get rich all of a sudden. And maybe that's why Bill Williams lost all of the money he'd earned. He'd grown up to that point steadily, but then he had this big surge, and so he went back to where he was at, and then he kept on growing from there. So you need to be steady. So a consistent strategy that can help you have success. I'm going to, on this 4-hour chart, that's a good time frame to use as a direction you want to trade. The 4-hour or the 1 hour, whenever you're able to sit in front of your computer more. I'm going to put a line here. What do you see here? You see it's red above and it's red below. Everything's red. When the 4-hour does that, that could say heads up. Start taking for looking for a trade going short. Now let's look at some other areas. There's another area right there. Now you want to catch these at the beginning and not wait until they're almost over before you enter them. So that was an area. I'm going to mark a few of these, and we'll look at them individually. There's that one. And that one. And there's one over here as well. Okay, in each of these 5 lines, that's where the 4-hour said go in that direction. Now, if you looked for that and that was your main thing that you were looking for, that had to be the first priority, then you can be steadily and you can be consistent, and you can focus on that, and that will keep you from thinking about all the noise that you're having from friends and relatives. You're just doing your game and doing your thing. Now we're going to look at the 1 hour and the 30-minute. Does the 1 hour confirm that? Yes, it does. Does the 30-minute? Yes, that confirms that as well, and it broke that support level right there. So that would be a good place to enter. We can see that from history that was really a big move. But these are the areas these two areas right here might be a little more difficult. Let's just see what they look like. The 1 hour, it confirmed that. The 30-minute, it confirmed it as well. And so if you'd done into that trade, it went in your favor, come back a little bit against you, and then there was a decent move there of 40, 50, 60 pips. So that would have been a good move also. The next one is the one that I'm really interested in, is what you would have done when this happens. This is where you start to second guess, maybe where you start to doubt yourself also. The 1 hour, we're looking at the center line right here. At that point, it did not confirm. And the next point that it confirmed was right there. And the next point is we need to look at the 30 minutes, see what it's doing. The 30-minute did not confirm till right there. It did confirm right there. And see, that move is over. And so if you'd gotten in it, the most you would have made is 8, 10 pips in your favor before it came back against you. This is where you need to be consistent, is when everything says yes, go, and you have a bad moment, and you start thinking about, well, maybe I don't deserve this because I made a loss on that trade, or I didn't make money on that trade. It was my same setup. Well, you can look to see how fresh it was. It became fresh because this bar had been a different color, and then it became fresh. But it's not fresh in relation to what's happening down here. So there's some things that would tell you to stay out. But the point is, this is the point where people start second guessing themselves. They start listening to the other people because you have a loss, you have a challenging trade, and you start listening to all the negative, and then you start sabotaging yourself. Expect some losses of some sort. Don't expect big losses. This wouldn't have given you a big loss. If you went clear to the point that it went the furthest, about 30 pip loss, but you should have been out of that long before then. And then we have another trade going short right here. It didn't confirm at that point. It confirmed right there. Then it confirmed right there on the 30-minute. Now these areas where I'm saying that the 30-minute confirms also, that's where you would receive an alert from your scanner. And the scanner would bring these types of things to your attention. Now, why is that important? Well, you have a tool that's bringing things to your attention rather than you looking for them. Because this area right here was not really easy to trade for quite a while. And so if you spend your time looking, you get frustrated instead of just sitting back and waiting. And in the PIP Club this morning, one of the traders brought up that patience is the thing that will help you to overcome the fear of being successful also. Well, let the market come to you. Don't think you have to always be in a trade, that you have to be pulling the trigger every minute. Just be consistent, patient, and wait for the trades to come to you. Now, that was the 4 hours, a larger time frame. I'm wanting to let you know that you can do something different. So I'm going to, okay, now we're going to go to the 1 hour. And now we're going to say, let's see, what were we looking for on the 1 hour? We're looking for fresh setups. Let's do the section here where it's going long. And so the 3 time frames we'll be using is the 1 hour, the 30-minute, and the 15. What are we looking for? When there's all the momentums going all 3 levels. So that would be one area that would be the first time. Another area right there. And another area right there. And we'll just do what's on the screen here. The next area could be, I think it's right there also. There's not one there. There would be one there, and one right there. Now we're going to look at these on the smaller time frames. I see there's some areas that are pretty challenging right in here. And this is where we need to be aware of our feelings and realize if you take a loss, that still means that you're successful. If you're taking it based on good sound principle, you're doing the same thing every time. We're looking at this far left line, and we went to the 30-minute chart, and it says it's got a lot of momentum in that direction. Is the 15 match up? Yes, the 15 matched up, and so anytime it passed that fractal or in that area right there, you could have taken a trade. Well, it was a 20 pip move, and it came back against you and kept on going. So it's how you manage that will determine how much of this trade you're going to get, because it did go sideways in here, but the overall move was more like about that 80 to 100 pip move based on the larger time frame trend. So that one you could have taken some pips out of. Now we're going to go to this next one. Right here, there's the 1 hour said it's going that direction. The 30 minutes said it had to wait. See, there's where you have to be patient to wait for that to set up. You could have taken it over here, but it may have gone in your direction, came back against you, and then you get out and lose and think you missed the trade. And so you wait till all is set up and the 15 minutes set up. You can either take it down here or wait till it passed that fractal. It was a 27 pip move, so it was a good 10-15 pips in that before it started turning back. So that one, even though it looks like it didn't do much in the history, there was a decent trade there. Oh, we're at this one right here. Now let's look at the next one. Now this may be laborious to you or boring, but if you watch what I'm doing and catch on to the system, whether you have our trading system or not, you'll see how powerful the system is. The one caution I would make is that you might know what these indicators are, but if you don't know how to use them, they're not going to help you out. So the 1 hour matched up, the 30 minute and the 15. Okay, they all matched up, so right in this area was a good trade, and that was a 40 pip move. So even though this is kind of going sideways, it still had some pretty decent moves here. These are the critical ones over here. So we move back to here. That 1 hour said yes, and the 30 minute agreed with that, and the 15 agreed with that also. So you've taken a trade there. Well, it took a long time, and it went up funny 11 pips. If you have your stop set such that you know when you want to exit a trade, then you could have taken a small trade there, and in worst case, you may have lost a few pips if you'd gotten in over here and even gotten out over here. It would have been maybe a 10 pip loss. That's where you don't beat yourself up about it. It went positive. It was a good trade. All the setup was just right. Next one, right here, move the anchor over. That said go long. 30 minute agreed with that. 15 minute agreed also. And that was another move for 15-20 pips. And that one, even if it come back against you, you wouldn't hardly lost any out of it. But see, you lost on that one too. You closed it just as it reached its bottom. Now let's go to back to the 1 hour and take this big one. Now we know that the market moves in these cycles, and we're going to go back out in a moment. Zoom back out. See, the 1 hour said yes. The 30 minutes said you had to wait a half an hour or 30 minutes. It was the next 30-minute bar that agreed, and then you had to wait another 15 minutes before the signal would have come on the 15. Now let's look at this. You have to realize the market moves in impulsive and corrective moves, and even these small impulsive moves gave us a few pips. This was kind of a very slight impulsive move. So what are you seeing in the pattern to tell you I'm not so sure about this? One is this indicator is staying very close to that zero line. It's not breaking away. But you know at some point it is going to break away, so be aware of all of the signals. And so if you took every signal, one on this one, you could have won on each of these, may have lost on these two, won this, but notice that the ones you won on were big, the ones you lost on were small. And you don't have to have any large losses. If you did this manually, then you spend a lot of time. If you use the scanner to bring it to your attention, you spend less time and can trade more currency pairs and be a better trader. So how does that relate to success once again? Be consistent in what you do. Grow steadily. And that will help people to grow with you as you start getting success, and say you start buying some things that you normally hadn't bought before. If you're buying just a few things once in a while, they can kind of adjust to that. And next thing you know, all of a sudden, you've moved into a bigger house. Now that's going to be one that's going to cause them to wonder a little bit. But buying a new car, that's not so much. Maybe you went on a vacation. That may not be such a big deal. But grow steadily, and that builds your confidence. Then you will be less likely to self-sabotage yourself. So now I'm going to go back to the PowerPoint. Okay, so this is where we went to the charts. Now the Nordic Strategy Scanner. I was showing you how to do things manually, but everything I showed you manually, the scanner will do for you. And this is just to let you be aware of some tools that are available to you. So the scanner will help you do the same thing every time. Be consistent, and you'll gain knowledge much faster, because you'll know what good trades look like and what the setups look like, and it'll help you become more consistent in your trading. So for those of you who do not have our nth degree trading course, now there have been some people that have purchased the scanner and they don't have the course, and they struggle because they don't understand what the scans are telling them. And so I would strongly suggest, yes, you can buy the scanner and use it if you recognize that not every scan is good. You have to have some trading experience. This is what is for you if you want to get involved with the scanner and don't have our course. So you can subscribe to the Norwood Strategy Scanner and get the nth degree trading system. So you can get your trading system with this along with the Pip Club. This is for $150 a month. Now this would be for a period of 12 months. That's $100 a month for the scanner, $50 a month for the nth degree course material. So over 12 months you would pay the $600 for the course. The course, if you buy it outright, would be $497. So it costs $100 more, paying it by the month. And so that's what the option is there, if that's all you can afford, rather than buying the course material and the scanner at the same time. So now this is if you do have the nth degree course material. Then you get the strategy scanner and you get the Pip Club for $100 a month. The scanner is $100 a month whether you have the course or not. I'm just sharing a way to get the course so you can really know what's taking place. Now the scanner can pay for itself if you will learn the course material and then follow some consistency. The idea is to show you what is possible and for traders to make money while they learn. If a trader had a $500 account and they took one mini lot each trade and they made 15 pips net each day, this would be about $15 a day, $45 per week, because I'm only talking about 3 days a week in the Pip Club. This is not counting the other days you may trade or the times outside of the Pip Club that you could trade. And this would be $180 a month. So that pays for everything right there, the course material and the Pip Club. Now, so it would be more than pay for itself, and you'd make a little bit of a good return on in the process. You do the numbers on your trading account. Maybe a $500 account is, you have an account much larger than that, then the numbers will prove that, yes, you can make a lot more money a lot faster. You'll have a larger account, you'll make more. So let's talk about doing 13 pips a day. That's a couple less, but that's $13 a day, $39 a week in 3 days. That's $156 a month. So we want you to make money trading the foreign currency market. So we have a tool, we have a system that can help you to do this and bring trades to your attention. Every time you sit at the computers, are going to trade come to your attention? Not necessarily, but there'll be enough trades come to you throughout the times that you can be aware of the your trading, that you will be able to be successful in your trading. We've only been trading for about an hour and a half in the PIP club, and that's about 3 to 5 hours a week is all. And many people spend more time than that. If you spend an hour a day in addition to the PIP club, you would not be spending too much time. You still have a life, and you could do quite well. With the strategy scanners, what it does for you is for you to be able to take additional trades when you are not in the PIP club. And so you're doing your own trading, so you can trade with people or by yourself, because the scanner is bringing things to your attention. The strategy scanner means that you will work less, you'll have higher probability trades, and you'll do it in less time. Here are 2 links. Now notice that I have the links are almost exactly the same except the 150 and the 100. So if you already have the course material, this is the one that you would want to click on for the scanner. And if you don't have the course material, then you'd be better off either buying the course material or clicking on this other link and making payments on the course material. So those are the links. And so if you have any questions, you can also reach us at Jet at Forex Trading Secrets, or give us a telephone call.